Hey guys, and welcome to a new series that I'm excited to start here on YouTube. We're going to be building a web API using .NET Core. We're going to be building a songs library that was suggested by Matthias here. I reached out asking for a simple CRUD idea for the tutorial, and these jokers are saying I should build a full blog and everything. Alright, yeah, sure. So yeah, we're going to keep it very simple because this is going to be an introduction series. If you're not familiar with .NET Core or C#, this will be a great spot to start at. .NET Core is an open source framework built by Microsoft. It runs on Linux, Mac OS, Windows, you name it, you can do it. It's amazing. C# will be the language we're using, which is another Microsoft product. C# is a statically typed language. It's object-oriented. It's very easy to read. I think if you understand object-oriented principles, it'll be very easy to pick up. So I'm going to be going over all this in depth and in detail, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So to get started, if you don't have .NET Core installed on your computer, let's just go to ASP.NET. ASP.NET is the web framework for .NET. There's also desktop apps that you can build, Windows 10 apps with .NET. So ASP.NET is going to be where we're going to be focused. Now you can download for Windows and Mac OS. To get started for Linux, I like to go to the Get Started page and go to the Download and Install. And then you just simply choose your distribution. And then you'll just run a few commands and you're completely installed and ready to go. Once you have these done, we'll just type .NET. This is the command line interface for .NET Core. And you'll just hit enter. If you get an output that looks like this, everything's good and ready to go. If you get an error, then just check the documentation, see if you missed a step. But it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to get started. Next, we want to create our new project. So the CLI, just like the Laravel CLI, it will allow you to kind of bootstrap your application and scaffold it up and get it ready to start development. So all you need to do to get started is say .NET new, and then tell it what type of template you want to use. So let's just go to Google and just say .NET new. Alright, this .NET Core CLI documentation, and let's go down to the arguments. So there's two different types of web frameworks that you can build with ASP.NET. One is MVC, which if you're coming from Laravel, it's going to be very familiar to you. That use Razor pages instead of Blade, which allows you to kind of grab your variables and things from C# and put them right into HTML. But we're going to be focusing on the RESTful API, which in .NET it's called Web API. So we'll just say .NET new Web API. And the last thing we want to do is, if I just hit enter right now, it's going to build the project right here in my code directory, but I want to give it an output path. So we can do -o, and we're going to call it songs API. Hit enter, and this will be done in just a second. So 834 milliseconds. So doing that -o did create this songs API directory. So let's go into there. And here are all the files that we have for our project. It's very small. If you're coming from Laravel, you're gonna think like, where's all the files? I think if someone like me who came from .NET and moved to Laravel, the first time I built a project, I was overwhelmed with the number of files. That's because .NET Core is compiled, so you only have the files here that are part of your program. You don't have all the libraries and everything sitting here cluttering up your space. Now to compile our application, all we need to do is say .NET build. That's going to compile everything down, and then we say .NET run, and that's going to run our application. So now all we have to do is go to our local host here, and we got a 404. Now why is that a 404? We just built a brand new application. Well, that is because we are not working with a website or an MVC application. It's just an API. Now out of the box, we do have one endpoint that we can use to test to make sure this is running. So we can go to API/values, and we get a response. So this is the basic controller that comes out of the box just to show you how things work. And in the next episode, we're going to dive deep into the code and understand how the controller is working and the routing is working. So be sure to stay tuned and check out that video. If you haven't been already, make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up. I'm going to be releasing these videos fairly often. It's going to be a short series, and I think that it'll be a lot of fun.